It's special bonus day today on the Kevin Preston Toy Box, because what are we doing? We're going to do something really different today, and it's a bonus! We have here a brand new, never opened Charlie and Me game from 1967. Never been opened. Never been opened. It still has the steel brads in place right here. Okay. The only imperfection of the box is this part tear flap right here. So this is the side we're going to open. We're going to be very careful. We're going to retain the staples and everything. We're actually going to open this. We're going to open this live on camera. And this is Charlie and Me, which is a very odd motorized game which has supposedly a robot that controls things. His name is Charlie, and he's pictured right here, which is very, very disturbing. The whole thing is disturbing, including the Topper kids here. Okay, this kid has always bothered me. I've been after one of these off and on for the past few years, just because I thought they were so bizarre. I'm relatively sure the game does not work all that well, because outside of eBay, I've never heard or seen one of these. The neat thing about this robot is sometimes you'll see this little plastic robot who I have a sneaking suspicion really doesn't do that much. But I have seen this robot by itself before for sale. Some people know what it goes to, some people don't. But what is interesting about it is almost all the time the robot is missing his little disc hat and his little antenna. Well, I'm relatively sure both those things are in this one since it's brand new. So we're going to have an opportunity to see how this thing was packed up, how it was put together. We're going to take it out. We're going to battery it up. We're going to play with it. We're going to shoot all the details. And then eventually we'll put it back exactly as it was in its box. Basically, the other thing that I really liked about this game was you know, kind of some of the things it said right over here. This kid, for one, this boy here, always reminded me of a kid that used to live in our townhouse development. His name was Craig, and this was probably about, when I was a kid, probably about 1969. And Craig was an unfortunate victim of a broken household. His mom and dad had divorced, so he didn't have very many toys, and he was sad. Kind of like this kid, looks like he's a little bit sad-faced, but he's trying to put on, you know, a good expression for the family picture and kind of pose, but he's really not very happy. And I thought that the text on this was just so appropriate for one of these situations. I could see the newly divorced mom saying, well, you know, Craig is very lonely because his dad's not here a lot. His dad only would show up 1 week in a month in the motorhome and take Craig off for a little trip to the amusement park or something. It was very sad. But I thought of the mom, who was very sad and lonely as well, looking through the toy stores for, you know, the one big Christmas gift she could afford, and coming across Charlie and Me here and reading, you know what? He is almost human. It's hard to believe, but true. Charlie plays many games with you, just like a human being. Charlie wins, loses, and draws. Charlie is a real playmate. Charlie is a real friend. Yes, Craig, Charlie is a real friend. The other interesting thing about the game is that it came with two games, a horse racing game and a shopping game. And they were like overlays that you put on the top of the game and snapped in place. And then there was other packages that you could buy with other games, and including, I'd love to find the Johnny Speed game. As you know, Topper made a Johnny Speed, which was like a cable-controlled, remote-controlled Jaguar Corvette hybrid combination, weird-looking car. I have one, and we'll profile it shortly. But it's interesting that they had a board game named after their other car, kind of another internal toy tie-in. Charlie and Me. He is almost human. The world's greatest computerized, pre-programmed robot. Why do I get the feeling that he doesn't really do anything? But we'll see. We'll see. The interesting thing is I have seen this game on the internet, but I've never seen it actually work. As a matter of fact, there may not be any video out there anywhere of this game actually working. But you're going to see it here, perhaps for the first time in human history on video. You're going to see Charlie and me, and a brand new one at that. Hey! All right, we're going to go ahead and remove some of the staples here very carefully. Buddy. There's one. There's the other. Okay. All right, we get a first look of what it looks like inside. And here is an unopened bag of, looks like play money or cards of some type, horses for the horse race game, the knob, the center knob that's always missing, and other miscellaneous parts. There's the antennas for, and the dish for Charlie's head. It's always missing. I told you we'd have them. Hey! Okay, so now I want to carefully remove Charlie and the game board. Here it is, folks. Here he comes out. There he is, Charlie, with a painted face, and he's all secure in here in cardboard. And there it is. Here is the instruction paper, laying right here. Okay. The bottom of the game board. That's weird. Remember, we got this at the bottom of the Hasbro space toy that I profiled, or something very similar to that. Reading treats. That's odd. That was right there. Here is the game board. What we're going to do is we're going to move the box temporarily out of the way. Oh, here's a little piece of it as well. We're not quite sure what that is yet. And I'm going to take the game board, which is upside down, out. Well, actually, it's not upside down. I think it's upside right. It's kind of snapping here in the cardboard. There it is. A brand new Charlie and Me set. Little faded on this one side, but I think the games, yes, are underneath there. Look at that. Mint perfect. And this is the horse race game. And this should be the Go Shopping game. Look at the art on that. That's kind of nice. Nice art. Bright, super bright colors because they've never been out. And here is the base game right here with spinner. That, of course, is mint. Okay. And the underside, which has the motor and the battery holder. It'd be very interesting putting that together. So, here, to give you an idea, is Charlie outside of the box. And I always wondered, you know, what was Charlie made out of? How is he constructed? What have you? And to give you an idea, I always imagined that he was hard, shiny plastic. But he's not. He's more of a heavy blow mold construction is what he's like. Notice the topper insignia on the back. If you can see that. Very cool. It says Charlie on the back, Charlie on the front. And he's really nothing but a blow molded kind of semi-solid, semi-hollow guy. His two arms are movable and clip into the game from what I understand. We're going to put the game together. And I don't think he does much more than just sit there and smile like that. You'll see these every once in a while just loose on eBay. I'm going to get one because my son really wants one because he's just kind of cool, happy, bizarre little robot. I like him. The rest of the game involves, there's a little piece that screws on. We're going to put that on. I'm going to carefully open up the game bag. I'm going to retain the game bag, and then I'm going to put it into another Ziploc bag so that everything is retained. We're going to set this up for the horse race game and just see how the whole thing goes together. Now the first thing we're going to do is remove the battery cover, which has never been removed. Right there. And put in 2 fresh Duracell D batteries. And look how, of course the copper strips on most toys have decayed even if you haven't left the batteries in there. But these are fresh and brand new. So weird from something from 1967. Okay, we got that. And then there are 2 other little additional screws that I got from the screw bag. And this little platform goes over these 3 nubs and is fastened down as well. Because then we're going to carefully turn it back over. Now Charlie, this is the base we just screwed on. Charlie, his feet and toes fit in there, and my understanding is what you've got to do is snap his hands, particularly this one over here. This one on the left, snap it in, or it won't work right. Then there is this, which is this little center dial, which has a little flat index on it, which corresponds with this axle sticking up here. And I think what you do is take the horse race template, which we have right here. I gotta take Charlie's hands, I guess, out one more time. Put them back in. And I'll put this indexed card right in the middle here. Okay, and I think we're going to be ready to go. Unfortunately, we've moved into the troubleshooting part of the segment. The game did not work, so we noticed that by just reaching and touching and feeling it, the motor seemed jammed up, that it didn't want to rotate. We took the motor unit out. Okay, unfortunately, as we were taking it out, both wires just popped right off, and we looked, and the solder job was just awful on this. Now I go dumping the game over. So they both popped off. So what we're going to do is we're going to solder onto the motor right here 2 leads. I don't even know which one was positive, which one was negative. We're going to put 2 leads on it with wire nuts, and then we can move them back and forth if we ended up doing it reversed. And the motor was stuck. I spun it loose and then hooked it up to batteries directly, and it did spin. So I'm going to go out to the shop, put on the 2 wires right here, solder them on, and then bring them up to the leads and see if we can get the game working. Okay, we have replaced the motor, soldered leads back on. Everything is checked out 100%. So we're going to show you how the game gets played. Basically what you do is you have 2 different types of pieces. You have ones with a brass bottom like this, which makes contact, and one which is a magnetic bottom, which follows a magnet wand underneath the game. So what you first do here is make sure that Charlie pushes his hand all the way down there and makes that contact. And then what you do is you put your horses on the line here, and I go ahead and spin. And I got a 3. So what you do is very carefully move without touching any of their contacts and go 1, 2, 3. And his horse automatically moves. He did 2 spaces. I spin and I get another 3. 1, 2, 3. And he moved a couple of spaces. You're playing the robot. The robot is controlling that. Okay. And it's kind of cool because you don't know how many spaces he's going to move. I spin another 3. 2, 3. He only moved those many spaces. And let's say I only moved 1. Maybe another 1. He might be catching up here. I'm trying to get him to pass me up, but he's not cooperating. Uh-oh, he's passed me up. Now sometimes he'll come off track of the magnet too. But he's doing pretty good here. Looks like he didn't win this time. I beat Charlie! And although he's smiling about it, I don't think he's happy about it.
Charlie and me!